Hello. Thank you so much for dropping in. I had a message from one fellow wondering if I would introduce my elephant. And this is something I got years ago. I'm surprised the batteries still work. And it's primarily, I suppose, for Valentine's Day. And it has a little thing where if you push the hand,
Sugar. Honey, honey. You are my candy girl. And you got me wanting.
and that's what it does. And if you do it again, guess what it does?
Sugar. Honey, honey. You are my candy girl. And you got me wanting.
And if you do it again, no, I'm not going to do that. I've never taken this off its original cardboard. I would bet I got this more than 20 years ago. But the batteries are still hanging in there, imagine. At least they've not gone bad as to ruin things as of yet. Oh. So I've been having a day of turmoil and torment. I gotta get work areas cleared off. And as you can't even see what's happened to this desk. Oh. Actually, what I really need to do is get this table moved completely from here and swap it with another table that's over there, because this one is strong and secure. And, you know, old plasma television sets they're heavy, 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 heavy. And this table will hold the television much better than the table it's on. But of course, I have to empty it. Then I have to empty the other, then I've got to move the TV off the other table and do all the swapperoonie and then put it onto this one. And it is overwhelming. It is. But it must be done. I must get some basically workstation set up so I can test things. Now there is one thing I'm going to do. And you know what? I've got a lot of stuff. Shocking as that might sound, I do. And I have a couple of original small screen Chiclet keyboard pets that I have been planning on tinkering with. But you know what? I just don't have time. I just don't. As much as I want to dig into them and see what's what, I just don't think I have time to do any of it. So I do believe I will sell them to somebody else who wants to tinker. They are, they're not the blue pets. I don't even remember what you know what, it's been years they've been sitting. I know I tinkered on one for a while and had some, I don't know, some success. I think, you know, if I get a chance I will. I think maybe the tape drive I put into it was wonky. I don't know. Anyway, regardless. There's one that's sitting just up above me that you can't see here. It's, how would you put it? Beautiful. It really, you know what, it could sit in any museum as it is and be highly prized by the museum or the person or whatever. Because in a lot of museums, like even at the University of Waterloo, where they did all the things for the Super Pet, somewhere in some case of glass, they have a Super Pet. Now, is there anything inside of it? I don't know. Does it work? Who knows? But it sits there as a relic of the past. It does. I've not seen it, but I've heard of it. So, yes. Anyway, I have much to do. And over the long weekend, I got very little accomplished. I did cook a turkey. It's quite wonderful. But I have to get stuff cleared. Now, I have another table that's a smaller table that's one piece that might do for the television over there. It might. And then maybe I can do things at the table that the television is on to test things. Maybe I can. Actually, right now, maybe I should at some point change my angle here so you get an idea of what's happening in this here room. I have this table here. Just over here, there are two 8-foot tables. And the one with the TV is pretty empty. But the others are not. And there's an old desk, like an old school desk that's kind of underneath one of the tables that's blocking the way of me putting more stuff under there. What it really comes down to is I'm not as organized as I would like to be. And the late Sid Bolton, when the last time I saw him, he was wearing a blue t-shirt with white letters that said, "It's not hoarding if you're organized." Well, Sid, I'm somewhat organized, but I've got a long way to go. I do. Anyway, as I sit here looking at Haggard, I am pleased to find that this disk drive that is in front of me, if I could find the power switch. Where is the power switch? Hello. Ah, there it is. Does seem to work quite dandy. It does. And, you know, there's a program. Are we coming up? We turn it on? What do we got? Yeah, we're up. Let's sit there. Test disk. There's a program that I really haven't used much before. Where did my disk? Okay, oh, here they are. And I'm curious about it. This is a blank disk. This is a test demo disk for the 1541. Okay, this has extra stuff on it. But anyway, there was a program on here that check disk. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. Because I think this does not damage the disk. I think it just runs through and checks things. I think. And here, I have another, oh, you know what, I might have to reload this anyway. I have another test demo disk, which quite wisely, yeah, I'm going to do this again, from Commodore. It came right protected, as in there is no notch. Yes. So, I'm going to load this again, because I think what this will do is check a disk for any bad blocks. Now I'm going to poke 53280, 0, and I'm going to poke 53281, 0, and then I'm going to change the cursor color to white. I am. So what I really just want to test here, and we're not going to sit here and watch this whole thing, but comes up and says anything about write protection, I'll know that I hear things, but I don't see things. See, before, this was telling me what it was doing. I wonder if it's trying to do stuff that it can't do because it's write protected, but it may not know what to do about that. Or maybe, you know what, maybe I should, oh, write protect on, Okay, so it did figure out, so that would mean to me that this program will in fact damage a disk if you use it or if you run it. But it's funny, it does not warn you of this. Let me just look at this. Yep, check disk. Well, I guess what it comes down to is, do I want to live dangerously? See, I have other copies of this test demo disc. I can always copy it again. I'm just curious. I am. Perhaps foolish, but curious. So I'm going to hit run. Now, I figure if this is a destructive program, it really should warn me. That it's going to hurt the disk. Kind of like the performance test, which tells you, yo, don't put a good disk in there. Okay, so it's doing what it's doing, and it's going to take a long time, and it is going to go at this.
Sugar, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me walking.
So I'm going to let this sit here and work away. It's funny, as I say, the batteries are good in this. I can hear it's kind of straining here. By the way, I'm wearing a Raptor hat today, and why am I wearing a Raptor hat today? Well, yesterday, the Blue Jays played, then the Raptors played, then the Leafs played, all almost in a row, which does not usually happen. First of all, I don't think usually they're playing all at the same time, but because of all, that's been going on in the world, they are. And miracle of miracles, the Blue Jays, actually the Blue Jays did quite well. I don't think they were ever trailing, and they held on. They did a little, they were trying to avoid using certain pitchers and things, and I think they had a 4 or 5 run lead, and I think they gave up a run, but they were okay. The Raptors were down. We were watching. Oh, they were down. It was horrid. And they've been very good at pretty much playing 3 quarters. But you see, there's 4 quarters in basketball. And, March was just a horrible month. I think they had, I'm not sure if it was all in March, but they kept on saying that I think they lost 15 games out of 17. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And, of course, they had a big win against the people they beat for the championship. I think they ended up beating them by 53 points. And yesterday, they They were in a very tight game. Oh, it ended up being a buzzer beater. The other team wanted an offensive foul called, but it wasn't called. And so, we were victorious, literally on a buzzer beater. Not as good as Kawhi Leonard's boingity boingity boing shot, but still, any buzzer beater that goes in is a good one. But I think it was at the time 100 to 101, so it wasn't like it was tied and we were guaranteed to head into overtime. It was make the shot or go home, and there was no time, really. From the time they took the ball in their end and headed down, it was like 4 or 5 seconds. So they had to get down, get set, shoot. And it went in, so they won a game. They did. And then there was the Leafs, who got up by a couple, fell back a bit, got it all tied up, and then they got up by 2, and ended up 2-2, then 3-2, then 3-3, and then they scored a couple more. Didn't have to go to overtime, didn't have to go to a shootout. And right at the end, Austin Matthews had a chance for a hat trick on an empty net. So he got the puck deep in our end, maybe even deeper than the face-off circle, and he went to fire it down the ice. And it's a long shot, like that's probably 175 feet or more. And unfortunately, it went wide. Oh well, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, when a team wins, it's all good. The individual stats really are irrelevant if you're on a winning team and you're all playing together and you're all working hard. It doesn't matter who does it, and it doesn't matter if you win 10-9 or 1-0. A win is a win is a win. It is. So, that was good. Anyway, I am just going to leave this, and then I'll see if this disc was ruined. And if it was, then I'll use one of the copy programs to restore it, so I can use it again. Anyway, we don't need this on. And we don't need this elephant. And what else? Yeah. I guess that's about all I have to say. So keep in mind, very soon, unless somebody contacts me ahead of time, I will be putting at least one of these old, very original, early PET computers that is in beautiful shape, with a small Chiclet keyboard with a cassette built in, that I just, you know what, I want to go at it, I don't have the time. So I figure it's time to let it go to somebody else. And even if it's just going to sit and look pretty, so be it. So if you're interested in such a machine, I know certainly the value on eBay has been rising dramatically. But anyway, if you have an offer to throw at me before I put it online and it ends up being shipped who knows where to who knows who, I'm all ears. And there are 2 of them. Remember, I really, as far as I know, what can I say? I don't know. I mean, I haven't turned them on in years, so I know they were worthy of my time and attention to get, with the idea that I could tinker with them and probably make them work. So, as far as I know, the boards are complete, the keyboards are complete, the tape drives are complete, the monitor lights up. So, we'll see. Anyway, if you wish to send me a message, do not hesitate. I'm on many things, such as Instagram, Facebook. I have email, which, if you could remember this quickly, it's Dr., as in Dr. Bradley, photography @hotmail.com. All small letters will be fine. Dr. Bradley, photography @hotmail.com. Not spelled anything weird. Of course, Bradley is B-R-A-D-L-E-Y. Anyway. All right. Enough for now. Let's see if this elephant still works.
Oh, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. You are my candy girl. 'Cause you got me wanting you.
I hear a little slow pain in that song. I don't know what this is. There's a little red thing hanging off of it. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for dropping in. I have put a lot of videos up lately, by the way. One that I think you'll find quite interesting is the one that has, hang on, maybe I can pull back here, the story of the House of Computers t-shirt. Oh, knock the 64 over. It's got a lot of cool things in it. Anyway, not that every video doesn't have something of interest. Also, I did power up an old calculator. An old Commodore calculator. Probably hasn't had power in 40 years. I did. But anyway, every video has its charm. And of course, I'm charming. Thank you very much for coming. I must embark upon the desk here. I must. Oh my. It's a little overwhelming. It is. But it must be done. So, of course, I'll say goodnight to Aunt Lou and Uncle Roger. Don't know if you can see that. But this is a Halloween thing. I should put this away. I think they're vampires. Anyway, you know what? I think I will. I've been gathering up things. I think I'll put it in a box of Christmas things. I think. Anyway, one last dance.
Oh, sugar.